This is Randi Thompson coming to you live with Trudy Adams and Miss Annie. Today we're working on keeping a light rein connection, which is an issue that a lot of riders have, especially as they go through the training process with their horse. Now now Trudy is working on transitions from either the halt to the walk or the trot, whichever she wants to do. And her goal is simply to feel what she is doing with her hands. Is she using her hands before her seat and legs? Is she using too much hand? Good, good. It really makes you think about it, doesn't it? It's all right. It's all right. What are you feeling that you've been doing with your hands? And it's subtle. But yep, just a little bit, but that's all right because that's why we go back to the basics. Take your time because you're going to notice you probably do something when you go up a gate too. Well, that was nice. How did that feel?
I'm fine. I just had to follow ahead with my hands.
That's right. That's right. Now you might also notice, if you're like most riders, that after they halt or slow down, you hold the rein a second too long. Take your time. Good. What did you feel there?
Maybe a little bit of leaning.
Good. What do you feel when you go up the gate? Well, that was nice.
Trying not to hold on too much.
I know. Well,
Holding a little.
just a little, but that's all right because that's why we're going back to the basics again, just to really get more finesse into what you're doing. See, now she's coming down to a walk with just your seat and legs, isn't she?
Trying to.
Yeah? What are you feeling when you go up into the trot?
I'm going to go on my hard side now.
She's stopping for treats.
No. No. Well, I mean, your hands have to come, her head comes up a little, so my hands have to follow.
That's right, because all we're doing is looking for a following soft rein connection right now. That's all we're doing. So we don't care if her head's where we need it to be for dressage or not. This is just about you going to the next level and feeling exactly what you've been doing. Because, you know, every time we go to another level, you have to refine what you've done and go back and do those basics again. Good, nice following elbow. And that's really your seat coming through your elbows and keeping a soft elbow. You know, some people think it's the elbow swinging. It's really the rider's position coming through the elbows. That's all right. That's all right. Straighten her out. Now notice when you straighten her out, how much rein do you use?
I kind of used a lot.
Good, good. That's exactly right. So you want to think when you're asking her with the rein, because we're going to go back to a lighter rein connection again, you'll take more time to do it. Like if she gets stuck somewhere and sticks her neck out somewhere, take an extra 3 seconds to straighten her out.
And there she kind of fell in.
That's all right. Good, and you can add backing to this too if you want. Good. We're just going back to the following rein again on a light contact. Good. Start doing serpentines. It really makes your elbows come back, doesn't it? Good. Take your time, because you feel as you start asking yourself to do more things, do you feel where your hands get just a little bit tighter? That's where you have to relax yourself a little bit more. It's nothing that you're doing wrong, but now we're getting really, we're really focusing on exactly what you're doing with the rein in a different way. Good. You can stop and back anytime you want to. And feel what you do with the back, because with the back you shouldn't be pulling on the reins either. You pick up your hands, lift up the back of your seat. Pick up the back of your seat when you back. That'll become her signal to back. Take your time. Good. That was, yeah, feel how light that rein was?
Yeah.
Good. Again, we don't care what she's doing with her head or anything right now. All we're doing is playing with a steady feel on both sides of the rein.
And I felt like I had the reins in my lap.
Well, that's a good point. So if you feel like your reins are in your lap, what should you have done?
Shortened them.
Shorten the length of the reins. Good. Okay, here she's starting to lean on you. Do you feel it?
Yes.
Good. So what do you have to do when she starts leaning?
Get her moving up.
Yep, get her moving up. You might have to let go of the rein a little bit. So if she holds that rein longer than 3 seconds, that's a signal for you. First, you use your legs. Second, you might have to give the rein without dropping it. Like you'll give a 1/4 of an inch or 1/2 an inch, just so she lets go. So your goal is to feel whenever she locks up in her neck or her neck or the pole, and you'll feel it in the rein. Oh, how did that feel?
Pretty good. I think I kind of stood in the stirrup.
Well, it looked nice because you sat in your seat first. So what she did was she actually came down by listening to your seat instead of the rein. Good. Okay, now we're going to go back to the spiral, but this time with the spiral, you're going to do at least one transition on each circle. So you're going to do a shoulder 4, think of it coming in, a leg heel coming out, except you're going to stop at least once in each circle, or come to a walk. Because that'll really push your buttons. Do you feel where your reins, what happens to your reins when you start thinking about it? That's right, the reins got loose. They started slapping her neck. So you want to think, okay, I've got to hit, good, take your time. This really isolates what happens, doesn't it? Good. That's it, good, Trudy. Take your time. This is all about you feeling the connection and her stopping for treats. Good, and then try it the other direction. Good. Whoop, you should have shortened your rein before you turned, right? So you think, yeah, that's right. You've got to feel. How often do you feel you have to adjust your reins a lot more just to keep that light connection, don't you? Yeah. Very good, Trudy. Good. Now watch your left hand. I can tell it's starting to get maybe an ounce tighter because she's starting to tilt her head. So just be aware, going to the left, most riders unconsciously get a little heavier with their left hand. You can feel it now, can't you? Take your time, take your time. Good. Hips through the elbows, tap her up. Good. Oh, there she's purring. Good. Good. So tell me, what did you just learn? What have you learned with this exercise?
Well, definitely, you just can't plant your hands there. You've got to keep adjusting.
That's right, a lot.
A lot. And coming in that smaller circle, I didn't do it. And you're right. The reins were flopping.
That's all right. Because, you know, now we can isolate these things because it's a good time to go back to the basics.
Well, I'm thinking a lot about what I'm doing, and you're right. Your hands sometimes get kind of busy.
Yes.
And they need to just be quiet but adjusting.
That's right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense because you adjust them a lot. Like you found that the smaller circle, you probably had to adjust every 2 or 3 steps.
And she leans less, but I have to sometimes encourage with my legs.
That's right. If you feel her leaning, it's you holding the rein too long.
Yeah. And it's...
I know that sounds so simple. That little fraction of a half of a second makes such a difference. That was a good girl, Annie.
I'm feeling very small amounts of rein pressure. She's listening.
Yes.
She's not resisting.
No, not at all. So you find what it does is it's unlocking her in a different level now.
Right.
You know, and we had to control her more when she was going through the training and stuff, but now she's at a point where we can just get lighter and lighter.
She's so hard to control.
I know, look at her wild thing that she is.